is up, awesome people, and welcome back to another Thingamajig Thursday, the day where I do absolutely random things. So in the last episode of Thingamajig Thursday, we did the Pikachu Nanoblock, and in this episode, as you can see, we are going to do the Ganga Nanoblock. Now this one has a difficulty level of 2, which is funny because the Pokemon I am doing after this one has a difficulty of 3, and yet it doesn't look like it would be difficulty of 3. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, yes, we are doing the Ganga. So this one has 150 pieces, difficulty level 2, so it's gonna be relatively easy. So let's crack into this bad boy and see what we're gonna deal with. So already we're starting off with 4 bags of stuff, mostly purple, so this is going to be fun, even before I get confused on what piece I'm going to pick up, but at least they'll pick up on the black pad really well. So now that we've looked at that, let's have a look at our instructions and see if this Ganga is going to be somewhat confusing, because we said the Caterpie was going to be easy, which was what I did 2 videos ago, and yet that had a bit of a confusing part to it. So here we go, we have our usual start, so we're layering up on 3 bases, working on the legs of the Ganga, and then probably working on like the bottom jaw of the Ganga, because that white bit is definitely his grinning smile, that lovely grin and smile. Then we got step 2, which is working up again. Step 3, we're then going into the eyes. Step 4, we're going into the forehead. Step 5 is the top of the skull. Step 6 is obviously his ears. Step 7 his feet. Sorry, his bottom. Why did I not build that at the start? That's my question. Step 8 is obviously his feet, and then he's done. Wow. This could be the easiest nanoblock we have yet to do, because during the middle, like from steps 2 to 4, there's no like overlapping curvy bits that we've had to deal with in the last couple of nanoblocks. And then obviously it's just building up. And then probably the most confusing part would probably be step 7 and maybe step 8 if I can't tell where to put the feet. But other than that, there is nothing majorly overly difficult about Ganga. I can't possibly screw this up. If I screw this up in any way, it must mean the tiredness is starting to kick in, because I'm narrating this pretty late at night, so it'll be interesting. Hopefully half asleep me can't fail doing this. If I do, as I said, something is definitely wrong. So let's get into step 1. I'll lay that out as I normally do, go through where bits need to go, and then we'll start building this relatively, actually shouldn't be relatively, it should be extremely easy nanoblock. So let's do this. Alright, so there is the breakdown for step 1. So, as you can tell, he's quite a big Pokemon to begin with. So, one of the main disadvantages of being all purple in the instructions is trying to figure out what piece is what. I mean, you could use the sidebar to figure out what pieces go where, but if you're not using that and you're just going straight from the diagram and figure out where pieces need to go, it's kind of like figuring out where everything else goes first, then figuring out what that bit is. So that was interesting to say the least, but we got there in the end. So this is the bottom bit, then that is the middle bit, and then that's our top layer. Alright, so let's focus on where these pieces have to go. So starting with the middle layer, we need to put... So we need to make sure this 2 bit here plops down. Whoop. Try that again. I lost it. That needs to go onto the bottom bit of our corner bit right there. And then obviously that'll be the same on the other side. So we're going with the symmetrical stuff again, and it'd be great if I line it up properly, like that. Then our other bit is making sure this bit, we're going by the third one, the third dot, that needs to line up almost how I had it broke it down before, so like that. So again, it'd be going like that. So they're kind of your points of focus. So you just kind of go through and put that whole bit together now. So that's what it will look like once you've done the second part of the first step, which leaves us with the bottom of Ganga's jaw. So for this part, we need to make sure that plops down like that. So again, we've got the overlaying going on. And then that'll go like that. And then that will go like that, just lying in the middle there, starting off with Ganga's teeth. And then we've got a single bit here, which needs to plop down into the corner of our 4x2. And I always love working with these single bits because they never plop down properly. Looks like it's plopped down. Same with the other side that needs to go down into the corner. So I'll get that one clamped in. And the other point of notice is the second block inwards needs to go like that. And again, same on the other side. Making sure I've got this correct. So going that way, and move them over a little bit. We'll need to go like that. So we've got the arms also forming with those two particular bits. And again, just working through using those blocks as a guide. And there is step one completed. So as I said, there is the start of Ganga's arms. We've also got the start of his legs going on underneath. And we've also got the start of his grimace smile happening too. So that was pretty, as I say, pretty basic if you can follow the instructions, also paying attention to what blocks you need on the side of that. So let's move on to step two, which is, as I said, we should be building up on the smile and starting to then build up the layer before we start doing Ganga's eyes. So for that, this is going to be our instructions for that. So as you can see, it's building directly straight on top of it, and then the layer above that will go directly straight on top of that as well. So I'll just do all the breakdown for it, go through the blocks of interest, and then we'll start building that as well. There is the breakdown for step two. So for this one, since it does plop directly on top of the first step that we did, I thought I might just go through and plop that one onto that one and straight onto our first step. What kind of gets me though is I'm not sure if they're doing this for the sake of details or what they were going for this one, but I kind of noticed that they've done single blocks for the front row of the teeth. So I don't know if they're doing that, as I said, to detail the teeth as like being all single modules there, or what the point of those, because it's definitely not for stability reasons. So be very careful on the teeth. They will be a bit wobbly until we put obviously the top part onto it. So from that, obviously we need to plop our purple bit straight on top of them to put them together. The other point of notice is straight onto here, so that stabilizes that bit, and obviously the symmetry will continue going onto there. The next part is our other corner piece, which will plop onto that bit like so. And as you can kind of tell, we're just moving around in a circle there, and that bit should get fixed up when we put it onto our step 1. And since I've got a bit of room, I can put that back now. And the other final point of notice is like that. And then you just kind of keep working around. And there we go, that's step 2. So as you saw there, once we finished off putting all the blocks down on the first part of step 2, I just whacked them straight onto our step 1 bit, and that's what we're left with. So as you can probably tell straight off the bat there, I had a few pieces that I haven't clamped down properly, and it looks like I was correct. So if I can get this to focus properly, which I don't think I can because of the light, but if you look at the front of Ganga, I might be able to slightly get it, but you can see there, you can see how the teeth have been detailed because of how they're all single pieces there. So I guess that was the overall result of doing it that way rather than focusing on making that part completely stable so it doesn't fall apart. But at this point in time, it is pretty loose, so just be careful where you place down when you're putting all your stability pieces like this. And that made no sense because, as I said, I am kind of half asleep while I'm doing this. I've got no energy drinks left, so tired me is always fun when it comes to doing these. All right, so moving on. We have step 3, which is going to be focusing on Ganga's eyes. So again, we're just plopping straight down onto our last piece. A little bit different though, it's not directly on top. We are leaving a bit of detail for the Ganga's shoulders, so our 4x1 will just go next to them, and then that'll just plop directly down on top of it. So what I'm going to do this time is, instead of doing my usual breakdown step by step, I'm going to do the bottom step directly on step 1, and then I'll leave the second step to step 3 separate so I can show whereabouts each step needs to go. So hopefully that works, and hopefully I might be able to try and keep with that format because it definitely speeds things up. Okay, so there is the breakdown for step 3. So as I said, I was going to do the first step straight on top of our previous steps, and that's what we end up with. So if I go from the front, you can see we've got the start of the eyes going with that beautiful white smile going on. And at the same time, if you look at the back, you notice the spikes are coming on. So if you're wondering why, when you're putting down the back of the Ganga away, some bits aren't lining up and there's a lot of overlapping going on, or just detailing the spikes of the Gangas. So that is looking really cool and really wicked. Wicked like a Ganga. Anyways, the points of interest on this one is our 3x2 goes directly on top like that. And then from there, our bottom of our corner piece there just drops directly on that. And the same with the other part. And the other one is the top part of this 4x2 plops down like so. And the same happens on the other side. And we should just be able to go click, click, and click. And that is step 3 done. So we're already about third of the way through the build, maybe a little bit more than that, 2/3 maybe? Yeah, my fractions are definitely off. How many steps are again? 8? Yes, very close to 1/3. All right, so after doing step 3, we have this going on. So he's definitely coming on very well now. So by step 6, most of the build's actually complete. So you'll see most of the Ganga happening. Just go through and make sure, oh, what's happened there? Oh, something went wrong there and I put it way too far. He's got a stubby arm. Let's just take that off because I think I accidentally went too far on one of the steps. And he was supposed to go like that. Why did I not notice that sooner? Then it goes boom and boom. I would have gotten most of the way through the build and then noticed he had a stubby arm. Sorry, Ganga. See, it's a simple build and yet I made a mistake. And that was, I don't remember making that mistake. Wow. All right, so step 3 is done. So step 4, we're now working on the top half of the bottom half of Ganga's skull. This is just finishing off some eyes and then starting to work on, like, as I said, the base of Ganga's skull. So again, we're working nearly directly. No, we are directly on top of what we just did. And again, the next part just plopping directly straight on top of that. So let's do what we did for step 3, and that'll be step 4 done. Okay, so there is step 4. So I've already got my bottom bit down. So from here, once you've got the pieces ready for the top half of step 4, your points of importance are, we have our corner piece going directly there. So again, the other part will just go there. So that covers the red bits. And the other part is our 2x1 will go over that part like so. Same with the other part. And then from there, you just work on the instructions like so. And that is step 4 complete. So if we're to look at the front, we have that. Boy, that looks pretty scary. You could almost like finish it up like that and just have like as the creepy ghost that you find in Lavender Tower. So from the side, we have that. From the back, we have the lovely spike patterns going on there. From the other side, and there is our lovely mean grimacy look front again. All right, so step 5, we're starting to close up that gaping massive hole in the Ganga's head, because that's definitely not well, actually it almost would suit a Ganga. I mean, if I saw a headless and kind of hollow Ganga floating around, I personally would be quite frightened myself. All right, so again, we're gonna need our previous steps going on, because step 5 starts off just going directly straight on what we worked on before. So again, we're almost going directly on top, but this time we're going slightly in a little bit. So as you can see, we got a 3x1, which is just in the middle there, and then everything just plops down like that. And then again, we've got our top part just going straight down, and that is again going 1 in from the top. And that's just about it. Like, there's no other points of interest I need to go through. So yeah, let's just put down our first layer, and then I'll go through and point out where you need to do certain parts for the second step of part 5. So there is our steps for 5. So I've already got my bottom layer down, and the first thing I will point out is when you're doing these 3x2s in the middle, they do feel a little bit unstable. It's only because there's very little support going on in the middle, as you probably saw as I was building up. However, I do believe when we put on the top part of Ganga's head, that should fix that stability problem. All right, so our points of interest is our single blocks here. Boy, I love working with them. We'll plop on just in the middle of our 3x2s there. Making sure you don't lose any to like the little gap of terror. I'd love to go fishing for a bit down there. That'd be very fun indeed. So then the other part is our little H bits. Just plop down on them, I do believe, yep. And then from that, just build your way up And that will be step 5 complete. And that is step 5 complete. So I did make a bit of a boo-boo when I was going through points of interest. Instead of putting where I put the corner, the half H's before, they are supposed to overlap. Now I did misread that one because, as I said, it's hard to tell sometimes. Obviously, if you read your instructions correct, that should have been pointed out very easily, but obviously I misread it. So yeah, it's supposed to be going like that. So as you can tell, like there's a bit of an overlap going on. Kind of does look weird, but hopefully when we put step 6 on, that kind of corrects it a little bit. And then you should get the Ganga's ears showing through a little bit easier. So just a quick swivel around just to have a look what the Ganga's looking like by this part. As you can see, we've got the shaping of the head going on. That's the top of Ganga's skull happening. And yes, as you can probably tell already, we have a chibi Ganga happening. So it's not, I guess it looks a lot less frightening in its form. I kind of like, actually. So anyway, step 6 to finish it off the Ganga. If I can get it on screen properly, we have this. So this part is really easy. I should be able to go step by step through this. And then after that, we just have Ganga's feet and bottom to do, and that is the whole build complete. All right, so for the ears, what we need to do is we need to get a half H times 2 and a 3-piece by 2. And then what we need to do there is we need to, on the corners of the Ganga, go like so. And what that'll do is it'll build up Ganga's base of the ears. Just gotta grab one more bit. Like that. And then in the center, just there, it'd be almost center of the Ganga's head, we put down another half H and go like that. And then on top of what we just built, we need to go right on the edge of the ears again, put down our square shapes like that. And on top of them is your solo spit right in the corner again to finalize the points of Ganga's ears. Very triangular, but nevertheless they are ears. And there we go, there is our grimace looking Ganga in its chibi nanoblock form. As I said, it looks really cute. I really like this one actually. And it's really stable. I mean, even its ears feel relatively strong as well. So that is really cool. I'm liking this one a lot, but obviously its feet won't be the same story. So just going this whole swivel around, that's what we have. Which leads us on to step 7, which is working underneath the Ganga build. So for step 7, we have this. I don't like working underbelly like this. So we need to turn the Ganga over and we need to use 4 by 1 times 2, 3 by 2 times 1, 3 by 1 times 3, and 2 by 1 times 2. Fun. This one I'm definitely gonna have to go by eye because obviously what they show in the instructions may not translate clearly onto your build, but nevertheless we'll have a go. So it's looking like we have our, so it's going like that. So our teeth are going to the front facing you. And then we have a 3 by 1. And it's looking like we start there. So from there we get our 3 by 1s, which go next to that. Like that. And then just equaling it out, so our 2 by 1 goes next to it. Like that. Also, this is the part where the tweezers don't work because I've got nowhere to clip onto. And then our 4x1s just go in between there, snap them on like that. And in between them is our 3x1, which clamps in the middle there. And that's what the bottom will look like. And yes, that is a complete mess of lines, 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 and more lines. And then to finish it off is our 2 3x1s, which equal Ganga's feet. And they go. So we got one line just coming out, which means there's a square support on Ganga's feet, making them actually pretty stable. And there we go, that's Ganga's feet done. That should be enough of an indication where they go. And there we go, that's the build complete. It only took me 42 minutes. If I took out commentary, probably about 35 minutes maybe. That was actually the easiest build to do. I like it. It's simple, and if I was more awake, I wouldn't have made any mistakes, even better. It's easy to do, it looks cute, it looks cool at the same time, and it's a Gengar. It definitely looks like a Gengar. Can't go past that bright white smile. Looks like Ganga brushes its teeth 3 times a day and probably a little bit more. And I really like this detail at the back too, for Ganga spikes. Maybe, just maybe, I mean, it would be cool if you could like have it so the bottom ones were a bit longer and then they just go a bit shorter as you go up. Like this maybe come out by 2 more blocks, and then as you get in the middle goes out by, so maybe in 3 go 2 then 1. So you get like a, coming out like that kind of thing. So if that made sense, that would probably look really cool. Maybe if you had like more nanoblocks on the side, you might be able to do that. Or if you go and buy more Ganga Nanoblock times 2, or maybe like 2 of these, you might be able to do that and give a bit more detail to the spikes, make him look hell of a lot cooler, that's for sure. And yeah, that is our Ganga. And with that as well, that is the end of that tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I can kind of stick to that whole new format as well. I keep forgetting, like there might be parts I might be able to speed up. And hopefully the next time I do a Nanoblock tutorial, I won't be half asleep. But the next Nanoblock we're doing, I've decided we are doing Farfetch'd, who, as I said, is surprisingly harder, well, supposedly harder than Ganga. It's difficulty level 3 with 160 pieces as well. So yeah, Dux is our next one to build. That is going to be awesome. So anyways, until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!